Game up 2!
Oh, they actually did 5-man smoke. Okay. That works out. We'll see if they get anything from this 5-man smoke. This is the first time they've not lied in a while. And, ooh. Smoke broken on Fade. Nothing to say. Innocents both there. But, yeah, this isn't going to turn into a skirmish. Unfortunately. It's not
Whenever
the
you say
5v5.
nothing to say, I feel like I need to say something. Like I'm just getting baited. I have nothing to say about this item build, so like I have to step in.
I mean, is that what you think about my analytical abilities, that I just always have nothing to say?
No. I respect that. I respect your Dota knowledge, B-Cop. Don't worry about it. I'm always open up for like new experiences, down to learn something.
God's Rebuke missing on Innocence, who was in the Mars's face. Just wasn't able to land a God's Rebuke. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a hero so close to the Mars that he avoided the God's Rebuke. Because it seemed like that should have hit. XM on this mid-Mars. It's been a while since we've seen the mid-Mars. Not a hero that we often see mid, but it has been flexed quite a number of times. So we'll see how that does. And they're sending Ajit into the off lane, looking for a matchup up against this Lycan. We'll see how that pans out for this TV. No Midas queued up yet. Although there are gloves in the quick buy. I know those aren't going towards the Midas, but we never know. Could be Midas.
It's just power treads, unfortunately, for all the haters out there. So they will have Lycan on the top lane paired up against Shawn. Like this, Lycan should not have that easy lane, I would say. Like they're sacking the bottom lane because Timbersaw is playing into 2 strength heroes, should have an easy time, especially when paired up with the Grimstroke.
Already going to that Metamorphosis, looking for Innocence, who will back up into the trees with that battery assault. So Metamorphosis, not the worst to just use here, get some farm, output some damage, get that clockwork backing off. Once it's on cooldown again, I wouldn't be surprised to see LGD go in for a potential kill here. And I wouldn't be surprised if Faith Beyond, once he's like level 3, level 4, maybe we see Jinkyu rotate with this Grimstroke.
Oh, for sure. He needs to make a rotation to the top lane, help out possibly Lycan, maybe even get a kill on a mid lane, even pre-level 6 on a Puck. But once Puck gets level 6, I want to see a rotation either from Clockwork or a Grimstroke to secure a kill on the Mars.
Trying to go in on Innocence still up top, and they don't have the damage to kill him after Metamorphosis runs out. A couple more right clicks from Fade, who used Shackle for a split second, let go of it, and then allowed Innocence to just get through the trees and escape. But bottom lane now, some good pressure on the Faith Beyond. Might be first blood.
My God, he needed like 1 CS. Look at that XP. That's nothing. That's a 1 finger of a creep that they needed to chop off for him to be level 2.
Wow. He's like 1 experience away, and now up in the top lane, battery assault, Innocence still running, getting through the trees. He is on the edge and cusp of dying constantly, but he still survives again and is able to pop a salving swell. And with the Timber Chain and the Whirling Death, Chalice gets quite low, but doesn't end up dead just yet.
They don't have any regeneration left on the bottom lane, so should be very careful. Also, Fate Beyond, going for like a killer type of a build, Timber Chain and Whirling Death. They need to bring some regen to the bottom lane, Tidehunter, Salve, and Tangos. If they can somehow kill the Courier, that would be pretty hype.
Could potentially see this lane spiraling out of control for EHome.
I'm a bit worried, sorry, Bikup, about Ame's game.
Right.
You know, he's playing into 2 biggest counters, bottom lane.
Well, again, Chalice avoiding it this time. Faith Beyond able to back off. They also had X-Nova quite low.
Playing Lycan into Tidehunter, Anchor Smash, playing into Mars Arena, where you can't move, you can't enter, just kind of ruins your hero.
Trying to run around, find the proper opening. Is it a game worth getting? It doesn't look like it. Biting anybody else in this game doesn't feel very value. Shackle.
No, like you just don't get the value out of it.
Ame running under the tier 1, and oof, again, just these heroes living on the edge. But Fade, he wants to go through the trees and potentially kill off Ame, which now forces him to go all the way back.
There's a rotation.
They're gonna TP in the Grimstroke, but they end up losing Innocence. Maybe they could do something with this, but Jinkyu immediately getting harassed and pushed away. Not really the movement that they were looking for.
Nothing to say will need to be active. Like, lanes are not going well for PSG LGD. Like, Timbersaw, he needs levels. Now he's going to play 1 versus 1. Has finally 1 point in reactive armor. Once he starts getting the levels, you know, it's going to be easier for him for sure. But until he gets the levels, died once because he needed that 1 experience to be level 2, get out of the trouble.
At what point in the game does a Timber normally look towards getting that shard? Like, is the shard even good this game? We've been seeing it a lot on Timbersaws.
I'm just thinking about like his first item. He's going for the bottle, something that we usually like don't see on the Timbersaw. But I guess he just wants to be able to put some more pressure in the lane.
Yeah, we've seen a
They
bunch
have a
of
lot
offlane bottles.
of you know, physical damage in this one.
Sleep on a Fate Beyond, and well, they're trying to get around him. Timber Chain whirling death into the trees, trying to escape, sitting low on health. And he pops that stick. I'm not certain that's going to be enough with the gush and the right clicks. Timber Chain getting more distance. It's a long amount of chase, but it should eventually result in a kill here, which it
Problem
does.
is, he did not have any snacks. Tough itemization for him, where you like, want to get the hood. I'd say a tough itemization for him, where you like want to get the hood, since they have some magic. I still feel like you need a hood of this hero. You're playing into Mars, into Shadow Shaman, but there's also a lot of right-click damage. A Lotus Orb is going to be fired this game against against TB. Against the Shadow Shaman, just gonna be probably his second item. But my man's struggling. I thought it's gonna be a much easier game for Fate Beyond on the bottom lane. One small mistake kind of ruined his early game.
Yeah, playing pretty sacrificial at the moment over bottom. Not something that is too uncommon with him. Next, I'm picking up a regen rune as he's got that bottled up, ready to sustain over mid. 41-7 for Nothing to Say, 34-5 for XM. So that lane looking pretty even thus far. Jinkyu getting a little bit of a D-ward action going on, and Ame just trying to farm up as best he can. He's sitting 33-8, so not having the worst time in this lane. But, you know, the CS is a little bit of a misdirect to where he is in terms of net worth. But everything towards the top is pretty close. Dream Coil Arena comes in and, well, trying to get away, but they've got themselves the Cogs, which locks up XM for the duration of the arena. Inkswell pops, and with the Illusory Orb, Nothing to Say gets a kill on XM, who is having a really good time over mid. Really well done there by Innocence to get those Cogs, because if he's got the arena, might just leave and doesn't end up dying.
Yeah, good rotation from both supports. LGD makes a rotation with the Dream Coil. They get a kill. Timbersaw, how's he doing? He's getting closer to level 6. Tidehunter already is level 6. Doesn't have too much mana to work with. That's the problem with the Tidehunter. They're making a move. 11 walk charges.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for Chalice. They've got the Inkswell on him. Looks for the body blocks. Goes to the Ravage with the sleep. Okay, that hits on the 2, but is it going to keep Chalice alive? Cogs push him away, looking for the Stroke of Fate. Fainting it a couple times, finally lands onto the Tidehunter, but they've brought over their 2 supports. They've got the Shackle and the Anchor Smash. Innocence ends up dead to X-Nova, who's hitting really hard. Whirling Death coming through on a Chalice. Illusory Orb catching up to this Tidehunter, who already used that Ravage, so really doesn't have much to play with, but still surviving as the sleep is massive and keeping alive the Tidehunter, who looks like he wants to turn around, but that was a bad decision as he gets hit by the Inkswell. Jinkyu dies.
Back online.
X-Nova, well, he'll end up getting himself a second kill, but the Dream Coil plays down. They get the kill on a Fate. They look over at X-Nova, who tries to get another sweep, but won't land it this time, and with not a lot of mana to play with, both Nothing to Say and Fate Beyond will back away.
They use that like Ravage straight away. EHome's lineup's very good at like counter initiating with the Ravage. Mars Arena, they have like one of the best ability in terms of like Echo Stomp. You still need the levels, but eventually you'll get there. So it's gonna be much harder for LGD to just like go in and make stuff done.
And the Tide was surviving thanks to the Morbid Mask.
Morbid Mask, a lot of lifesteal,
Yeah.
those Vaughn charges. Tide really struggles early on with the mana. Oh, he's going into Some heavy right-click damage. Deso face boots.
I always love seeing this build on Tide. And then I play it, and it doesn't go nearly as well. That's why I like to watch it, though, when it gets executed right.
Makes complete sense to me, B-Cup. That's why I always see you spectating the game instead of playing.
That's not entirely false at all. Over mid, Ajit. 2 Wraith Bands going into the Yasha. No Midas queued up. No God King build here. Although he could be going into the Sanjin Yasha and doing that build, but it looks like just right now it's the Yasha. See where he goes from there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Only a little bit of a lead for LGD. This game is much closer. QQQ certainly setting EHome up for success. They'll go for the Tide again. They've got 4 heroes up in this top lane. They'll look for the sweep. They've got the spear and the arena. Timber Chain, no way.
24 stacks. Oh my god. 3-man coil.
Yeah, right on top. They're going to turn this one
Lean them up, boys.
Faith Beyond, he's even staying on this as the Ravage gets thrown over. They hit the spear on a Lycan, but it doesn't attach to anything, so they get the kill on X-Nova. They also end up losing Faith. They'll go after XM, trying to chase this Mars. Slow him down just a bit, but they won't chase near the tier 1 tower. That ends up with 0 kills for EHome on that.
That was such a big turnaround. Like, Timbersaw is insane hero. Sometimes it's all it takes, like 1 extra hit. If you don't get it off, like 1 extra spell is just gonna feel bad. That cloak, magic wand, keeping him alive, gets out. Good rotation from the puck. I guess we're gonna see that one again. Because, yeah, Timbersaw, like having that hood right now, so that's gonna help quite a lot.
Wow,
Shaman
really committing mid.
Drops the wards, like meta, Shaman wards, and a catapult. I think that's a bit too much, but they just wanted to go in and clean it up instantly.
Maybe a little bit of aggravation coming in as they've used Ravage twice. It really hasn't amounted to much, especially that top lane fight where it just completely gets turned around. So they want to get themselves a tower, squeeze the map a little bit for LGD, and maybe find some success around the map, get some open space to farm, especially the TB, who is doing quite well. Second on the net worth. Really opening up some space for Ajit. Sleep not going to land on Faith Beyond. Now they're really starting to have trouble here with this Timbersaw. And Faith Beyond just turning around and really
right
asking them to
now,
fight.
they're like, do we go in again? Like, do we bring the numbers? They see the hood, so extra 325 magic damage, possibly. Timber running low on mana. What is he bringing? He's bringing just a couple of TPs.
Take a look as hook shot not landing with the Inkswell combo. Cogs to push away XM, but they've got the Hex. They're looking for the Shackle or the Sleep. Sleep lands on the edge, but the Silence, so no Spear is going to be thrown over at Innocence just yet. Finally, there's the finish.
It's a 4-man rotation just to kill position 5 Clockwork, which I think PSG LGD is fine with. Necro 3, done on Lycan.
Dream Coil committed. Coming through onto the Elder Titan with the Inkswell. Should pop, should land, and should be a kill. X-Nova ending up dead. They still got some heroes here from the side of EHome, but there's nothing that they can do to react to this. And
yeah, whenever I talk about Shaman, like, you need to have good ways of protecting the hero. Like, you have Tidehunter, one of the best ones for sure. You have ET. But it's also going to be problematic this time around. You're playing into Lycan. No one wants to just stand their ground and be able to, like, yeah, I'm just going to hit this Necro Warriors, try to sleep though, because they're just too speedy. Also, like, Tidehunter, if he misses the Anchor Smash on that, you're not actually saving anything. So Shaman could be in a trouble, also, like, playing into Clockwork, into Double Silence from Puck, and Grimstroke could be problematic.
I like this build from Ame coming in. Necro 3, no boots, going into the AC.
Understands that they have a ton of physical damage, ton of minus armor coming out from, like, the Gush, ET Aura. He needs to be able to just tank up the team.
I like it better than what we've been seeing with a lot of Lycans, with, like, that first item, Orchid, just trying to use that. Like, I like this so much more.
Auras are always a bit tricky into Terrorblade. He gets the reflection off, then you have a free aura, but yeah, you can't just think about, I will not buy any aura items because there is reflection. Hook shot in.
And that will land on X-Nova, who's hit with Phantom's Embrace to follow that up. Look for an Inkswell diving under the tier 2 tower. Risky, and Innocence Well, he'll get the kill, but he'll end up getting traded. Meanwhile, though, nothing to say goes down to XM. The arena was used. Jinku gets caught out. That was Ravage used. And 3 kills there for EHome. They finally take a net worth lead for what feels like the first time this series.
Yeah. Puck going into Dagon. There was one Puck the other day that like really refused to buy any defensive tools, and he was playing into either Lion or Shadow Shaman, and into one Silence, if I remember correctly, because we've seen a lot of games, you know, can't remember everything. But this time around, I would also love to see something defensive.
Right.
Just playing into Shaman, 1 Hex, you're dead.
They know Chalice doesn't have Ravage, so they'll chase a little bit. Just do some little chip damage there. Not really the worst thing for Chalice. And Innocence fainting that hook shot. Thinking about moving in, but now he's surrounded by 2 heroes. Make it 3. Dream Coil comes in. Should be able to get the kill there onto the Elder Titan. He's silenced up, so no sweep is coming in. They also get the kill on a Fade, so Faith Beyond gets 1. Ami gets the other. Now they should be able to have the damage.
Good hook shot.
Chalice, and the hook shot
into
pushes
Cogs.
XM back with the Cogs. So that's perfectly lined up by LGD. They lose a fight, they take a fight, and they win this one. Should be able to grab a 4th as they've got the silence on XM. Nowhere for him to run. Everybody dead but the Terrorblade, who is just continuing to try and boost up that farm.
So much value in this game from the Inkswell. You have 4 heroes that love to go in.
Yeah.
You have Clockwork, Lycan, like even using it on Puck feels good. So Timbersaw could into that Lotus Orb I mentioned. It's extra mana regen. It's just great with their heroes, and he instantly changes it. Sometimes I feel like they're listening to us.
Well, they are. I think they are. Our voices go directly to
Yeah,
to
to
the
their
players.
TeamSpeak Discord, whatever they're using.
Coming through, looking for the TB.
Top tower is under
Won't
attack.
continue to chase. I've only had that happen to me like once or twice.
Where pro players hopped into your Discord while you were playing a pub?
No, they heard me casting from the lobby.
Oh,
I think
okay.
the settings were placed wrong and they could just hear me. Pretty embarrassing.
I thought Somnus joined your Discord. It's like, what up, B-Cop, man? I really like your build.
I was actually WSG Canada, and I was talking about how I really didn't like Dark Will at the time. It just felt super strong when it first came out. And all of a sudden, I just hear Arteezy go, yeah, we hate Dark Will too. I'm like, wait, what? I was solo casting. I wasn't expecting anybody to respond. I was just like, and they were like, we could hear you. And then I just left the lobby, turned off the stream, and got too embarrassed. Shackle coming in onto Faith Beyond. Right clicks as well for the Metamorphosis from the TV. Timber Chain, just not going to be enough. Ajit getting the kill there, and we're starting to see maybe some power come in from this Terrorblade now that he's finished off that
Their
Manta
late
style.
game is superior. Like, EHome just has a much better late game, so PSG LGD, they need to make stuff done. Like, right here, right now. The lineup doesn't really scale that much, even though, like, Timbersaw's not the same hero anymore. He's really
Ooh, wow.
does
Knowing
well. Good
exactly
arena.
where Ame was. The arena as well as the spear goes into the shapeshift. It's a fast-moving chicken, but they've got the soul bind as well as the hookshot coming in. They look to get the kill on a fade. The Ravage is out, and it's a pretty good one. And they should be able to clean up on this as they get the kill on Innocence. They're going to take out at least 1 in this engagement. Nothing to say, though, with a lot of health and mana to work with. The Illusory Orb comes across on a 3. Waning Rift silences up 2, and the Stroke of Fate. Oh, XM just surviving with a little bit of health. Avoids the Illusory
He
Orb.
avoids the spear as well.
Phase shift, Waning Rift, jumping away, and nothing to say. Should be able to survive here. Just Fade dying in Innocence. A lot of heroes sitting low on both sides.
They need to be able to take out Shaman first before he can get any spells off. If
they
they get a
spot
good jump,
Ajay.
they're still chasing.
Yeah, they want to go in on a Chalice who does not have Ravage. That was used just a little bit earlier. He gets under the tier 2 tower. Stroke of Fate doesn't land on a Chalice, but they still want him. They still want to get this kill onto the Tidehunter, and they should be able to do so with the silence and the Chakram hitting. Faith Beyond cleans up Chalice, and they finally get a +1 in this entire engagement.
It took them a while to take down that watermelon, but in the end they managed to do so.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah, finally,
tower is under attack.
Slicing through the watermelon, take out the seeds, slice it up, and pass it around. Good dessert. Good bit of gold.
Man, we're using technology in the right direction. You know, making seedless watermelon, like this is the stuff that I want to see. I do not want to go to Mars or anything. Like I just want to use it for simple stuff.
Arena down here with the spear landing onto Ame. And they've got the Hex, so they should have the control to finish this off. But the hook shot comes in. It looks like it's not going to be enough, though, to save Ame. However, they might be able to turn on to XM and at least get themselves one. XM falls to Innocence, and they do finish off the Lars, and that is a trade I don't think EHome were expecting on giving.
Yeah, we could see in the previous fight where, like, Lycan, he goes in, you said, like, Chicken running around inside the arena, can't really do too much. I feel still that he needs a BKB to be able to get out of the arena and focus the right target, so he queues that up.
Ooh.
Like, big item that support can farm. I'll hold that
Coil.
thought.
A little bit of a bait here from Innocence. He just walked up, and they try to get the kill here on the Terrorblade. He's low, hit with the Phantom's Embrace, but they've got the Hex as well as the Serpent Wards around, and there is the Shackle. Stroke doesn't finish off the TB. However, maybe nothing to say, survives here as he's able to Waning Rift out and also gets a blink.
That was so close. Like, if they get the kill, that's pretty high, pretty big. But if Jin Q can somehow manage to farm the Aghanim Scepter against the Terrorblade, you make a stronger illusion, which is magic immune, deals 150% of the TB damage.
Ooh.
That's the game-breaking Ags, like similar to, let's say, once Disruptor gets it. But I don't think they found Philosopher's Stone. So yeah, that's a big bummer for them. Once you get that item, it becomes so much easier to farm the Ags.
Yeah. It's going to take potentially 2 series to find that Philosopher's Stone. First you have the original, and then you have Brotherhood, and sometimes you don't even get the Philosopher's Stone, and he's looking for that Axe. So it's going to be some time until he gets the gold for that.
Oh yeah, Lord of the Rings and the Philosopher's Stone. Love that movie.
Full Metal Alchemist, but yeah.
I know.
Okay. You know, I got really disappointed.
Because people always, you know, talk about like Dumbledore and Lord of the Rings and similar stuff. So yeah, Dirty Tower falling down. They will be able to take the outpost. I like how Innocence has a position 5 Clockwork. Like, you don't give a damn if you die.
Yeah.
So he's just throwing his body out there, getting good trades, possibly like saving his teammates. Coil.
Trigger Coil on a Fade, and they're going to make this move and get the kill onto 1. Now they need to run. Phase Shift avoiding the sleep. Good job by Nothing to Say to get in and out.
Puck going all in on that damage. Has Fairy's Trinket. Spell damage 5%. Then has Veil. Dagon 2. Spell amplification on level 15. So that Dagon's going to hurt a lot. I'm just worried that, like, if he gets shackled or hexed, he might instantly die, so I would love to see like a defensive item, either a Lincoln Sphere, possibly even a BKB, because they have like a ton of magical damage. They have like nothing that goes through the BKB.
Shard was picked up by the Grimstroke, by the way. He's got Ink over.
It's a good one, you know. Just another spell. Like some heroes have, like it just breaks how the game looks. Like if he gets that Aghanim Scepter, then you have one extra spell, Dark Portrait, and yeah. Inventory
all
looks
those
bugs.
buttons. Yeah. I don't know. We see Ink over a lot. And do you think it's a good shard up
Yeah,
there?
it's a decent one. You know, it's not like Juggernaut shard or the old Earthshaker shard, but it's also not a Clockwork shard.
Yeah, it's not Jetpack.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Although that
attack.
would be a cool addition to ability draft if you could draft shards.
Radiant are scanning.
Just a point.
Not a bad idea. Roshan, he gets
going
bashed.
for it. They're going to come through. They've got the Dream Coil down. They get the Cone of Fate. They're going to look over to the side and control with these cogs the Elder Titan. So they get the Cone of X Nova, who's going to buy back immediately with Fade. They get the
Ravage
Cone of
still
XN,
available,
and
but he just disappears.
yeah, they kill off the Tide so quickly. 4 heroes already dead. They'll go after this Terrorblade, and they should be able to get themselves a full team wipe. With the buyback coming out from both supports, this really doesn't feel great for EHome at all. A 10k lead for LGD.
Oh man, that execution from LGD, and also something that we did not talk about is like this Phantom. You get so much value from it on the Tidehunter. You can't cracken it off. You actually need to hit it, which is a big problem for the Tidehunter. Doesn't have much attack speed. Usually Tide struggles against like Black Hole, Static Storms, Chronospheres. But this is also something that he doesn't like to play into.
Yeah, with him unable to get that Ravage off, that fight just takes a one-sided turn. Elder Titan just bought back. X-Nova needs to get onto the high ground and leave.
Yeah, both of the supports bought back. And the PSG LGD understands, like, we need to go in, kill the support straight away, especially the Shadow Shaman. I talked about, like, the importance of being able to save Shadow Shaman, but once they are already on top of him with either a book, a Timbersaw, you do not want to ravage Timbersaw. You do not want to ravage the Necro Warriors, like not even a Clockwork, because they don't have any, like, saving items. There's no Force Staff, there's no Glimmer Caves yet, so a bit problematic. PSG LGD going with the momentum right now.
Yeah, they know where their win conditions are at. This is feeling like a Shadow Shaman like we really haven't seen throughout the DPC, because it's super underfarmed. We usually see these Shadow Shamans in some way secure some farm, and it feels like Fade just doesn't really have a game to play with at the moment.
It's a tough one for him. You know, already talked about all the bad matchups. He doesn't really like to play into any of these heroes.
Yeah.
Hook shot in.
That gets used, and well, speak of the devil, it's going to come through on a Fade, and they'll get the kill on the Shadow Shaman, dead for 70 seconds without buyback. And that is just rough to not have that support, especially where LGD are postured. They're ready to push into the high ground, and you're not going to have your control, your Hex, potentially, you know, a big part of this fight or a big part of this defense for 50 more seconds.
While you're talking, they're killing tier 3 towers. It's going down so quickly, like AC plus the Necro units.
They need a response, and it's going to have to start from probably a Ravage of some sort. Sleep comes in, but they've got the Dream Coil down, as well as the Arena with the Gods communicating out of the Clockwork. Spear comes down, that will last, but they've got the Soulbind as well as the Dream Coil going up.
Oh, DB's just dead!
Whoa, Stroke of Fate comes in, and with the help of Faith Beyond, they get the kill on Ajit. He doesn't have buyback. This could start signaling the end. Hook shot, it lands. That's out on the Elder Titan. They've got the silence, and Ravage finally comes in. That might be enough to get one return, but it's not going to be enough to really turn this fight.
This might be it.
They've lost 4. They'll go after the Mars. They've got the BKB from XM, who will bulwark back towards the base, but man, can he not do much?
Oh, they just blew up that Terrorblade. They used the Grimstroke ulti, Ink over, double Dagon on 2 targets. Like, even if Terrorblade has buyback there, you don't get like any value from the buyback because you already used the meta.
Bought out on Scotty, and now we'll take this bottom set of racks. Mid and bottom gone, and with no tier 2 standing. Sometimes you see that tier 2 in one lane, that last lane, but it's not standing here, so they can just go for the tier 3.
Rock just blinked in.
Yeah,
and he's dead. Well, that's one way to throw the game.
It's one way to stop the Mega Creeps from coming out. Now they'll back off. They've got themselves Aegis. They could just wait for 50 seconds to get nothing to say back into the game. Might give time for Terrorblade to get to the AC that he wants, but we'll see. They look to re-engage once again. They've got the Spear landing on Ame, but XM, he just cannot get anything done this game, and he is getting ripped apart, gone again.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like a mid-Mars.
No.
You know, looking at his items, 27 minutes in, it feels more of an off-lane Mars than a mid-Mars. Because I think Tidehunter, he stole his item build. Like, you do not want to go for double Deso. I'm not even kidding.
Maybe usually you get that Deso when you've got a little bit more farm priority on the Mars, right?
Yeah.
Hex onto the Timber, but really not phased by that little act of aggression. And he's just able to stand here, right-click these towers. You need to be careful about how you approach this. Ether Shock, Stroke of Fate, that comes in and hits on X-Nova, but they've got the sweep on the Ame, and Hook Shot misses as well. Puck trying to get into this fight as quickly as possible. He's actually smoked up himself to try and make his way in. They take out the tier 3, they'll look for the set of racks and go after this Tide. They've got the Chakram on him as well as the Silence. The Soulbind now connects onto the
They just
Shadow
blow
Shaman,
him up
and
again.
they blew him up and did a lot of damage onto the Shaman too with the double Dagon. They get the kill there onto X Nova. They'll look for more as the Dream Coil is placed down on them. Two of these heroes. Metamorphosis pop, trying to get the right clicks down on the beat. Beyond, but he's so tanky, they just can't get the kill. Chakram hits on Ajit. XM trying to push his way forward and get something done, but Ajit falls again and nothing to say. They'll call GG. LGD, they'll take the series 2-0, and EHome fall even further down as they have lost yet another series in this one, 2-0 to LGD.
This was supposed to